name is Sally Penni. I'm a barrister and the founder of Women in the Law UK. This lunchtime is a great one, all about branding. We've got a great speaker this afternoon. Tanya, over to you. Good
afternoon, everyone. And firstly, just thank you to Sally for inviting me. And it's very exciting to be with you all. Slightly nervous, but just because it's presenting, so I just thought I'd just be really honest with you all about that. So I am going to share my screen, which is going to be my PowerPoint presentation. Okay, so can you see my PowerPoint presentation? Is that all working okay?
Yes.
Brilliant. Thank you everyone. So how can personal branding help you gain more clients and increase your profile? So to introduce myself, so I thought I'd sort of just share with you where I've been. So I've been a photographer for 20 years, and I've photographed everything from the Queen all the way through to drain pipes. And I think that's probably one of my funny strap lines, really. So yeah, I was lucky enough to work in London, live in London for 8 years, hence photographing the Queen. I photographed her a couple of times. And I've mainly been a commercial photographer, so I photographed all manner of things. And then last year, I niched into being a personal brand photographer, because out of all the things that I love, even though, I love the Queen, I'm a bit of a royalist, I guess. I'm not quite so keen on drain pipes, but I love women. I really get the challenges that we all face, especially as, female entrepreneurs and that. So I'll be talking a lot more about that, but yeah, so that's why I niched. So what is personal branding? So I imagine for some of you, you might think that branding is to do with brand, logo. As we know, there are so many big brands out there. We know about the Apple and the Google and the Nikon and all of the things that you can see on this image here. But personal branding, what is that? What is that? So if personal brand is not a logo, what is it? What is it?
Is it a USP? So your unique selling point, kind of what you represent and kind of what you are coming out in that personal brand.
Yeah, that's part of it. Absolutely. Yes. And thank you for speaking up, Penni. It's totally cool for people to do that too. So yeah, people buy from people they trust. So, it's like, I don't know about you, but over the years I've done lots and lots of networking. And I imagine for you guys as solicitors, lawyers within the law industry sector, you will at times meet up with each other, and it might be that initially you might think that you're in competition. Actually, you can collaborate. There are all sorts of amazing things that you can do when you actually network within your area of expertise. And also, if you do actually go networking, then people will, it's all about people getting to know you and liking you, and then they trust you, and then they, hopefully they will become clients, because they're like, oh yeah, I remember her. She had amazing hair, like Penni. She's got gorgeous, amazing hair. It's just like sometimes girls especially will really pick out on certain things about each other and things like that. So personal brand. So kind of personal brand sits in the middle of how you see yourself and how others see you. So, how do you see yourself? And this is very interesting, especially for us women. I think it's brilliant. I'm so glad that I'm here, and we're all together here, because as women, and we've got some guys here too. So this isn't about being exclusive or even necessarily about being feminist. This is about what it specifically is like for us. So, you are in charge of your self-image. How do you, so it's very important that you're really nice to yourself, we are really gentle with ourselves, that we do acknowledge ourselves for our achievements, because it's so easy to just drive ourselves. And I imagine for you guys especially, well, I'll say guys, but you know, I mean girls, and there's guys here too, but you know, there's something I imagine that's within the career of law. I imagine it can be very easy to be like really driving yourself to achieve. And it's like, what about you? What about your precious being, your precious soul? So, you know, for me, I just think it's very important that we are gentle with ourselves and our self-image, because, you know, how do you look after yourself? I mean, I'm sure I know Kate is a really big advocate for that as a therapist and coach, because, you know, obviously, you know, how do you look after yourself in work, in rest, in play? And all of this is all to do with how you think about yourself and your self-image. So in a way, like for me, I really believe that self-confidence comes through self-love. And so, you know, how you see yourself and your self-image, it's really important that you just take a check on what you might say to yourself daily. Do you say nice things to yourself? Do you say bad things to yourself? And I know initially this might sound quite deep, considering I'm talking about personal brand and I'm a photographer, but I guess that's why I've niched into what I'm doing, because for me, as you know, supporting women, we are very harsh critics of ourselves, and so I think how we see ourselves is very, very important. And so the other side of that is how others see us. So in some ways, we don't necessarily know how others see us, but what image is it that we want to portray? So this isn't about creating a persona. And I imagine actually for some of you, especially you stand in a courtroom, and I imagine you probably have to put some kind of persona on, because you've got to be like really confident, very self-assured, very certain. But yeah, so, you know, how do you want others to see you, you know, in terms of your personal brand? You know, how do you think others do see you? You know, and something that you could do, this is kind of on the edge of quite challenging for some people, and it's something that I've done in my journey, especially last year, is I actually emailed a lot of people and I asked them for feedback about what they think I'm really good at, what they think I'm not so good at, how do I come across, and all of those things, which are kind of, it's quite challenging to ask those kind of questions, but I got some amazing feedback, and some of the challenges that they can see in me, I was like, right, okay, I'm going to work on that. You know, so, you know, we don't know how we project out, you know, so yeah. Just go to the next slide. So your brand is what people say about you when you're not in the room. I quite like this saying, because I think it's really an interesting one. Because, you know, it doesn't matter how much we try or what we want, but actually, you know, how we turn up day in, day out, week in, week out, on a phone call, at a networking event, early in the morning when we're tired and we might have been out late, what the night before, you know, it's like you know, how do we come out, you know, everything that we do is our brand. And so, just as an example, a really good mate of mine, she's not someone that I do work with, but a really good mate of mine, I know she'll always be late. And now I don't ever want to be known for someone to be late. But you see what I mean? It's kind of like our attitude and how we come across and things that people remember about us is really quite important, I think. So it's like, you know, your behavior, your conduct. So your personal brand it's how you promote yourself. It's the unique combination of skills, experience. I just need to move this window because it's getting in the way of my text. I'll tell you what, let me just move this slightly. Just bear with me a second. That's better. Yeah, that's better. Right. Yeah, it's the unique combination of skills, experience, and personality that you want to bring to the world. It's the telling of your story. So we've all got a story, haven't we, of how we got to where we are, you know, the journey that we've been on. You know, I'm 49. I've been, you know, my journey's been quite long. You know, there'll be some of you that are students, your journey's quite, you know, shorter, but you'll still have your story. You know, they'll still have a reason why you're here doing what you're doing right now. You know, your personal brand, it also reflects, like I said, your conduct, behaviour, spoken and unspoken words and attitudes. So like I was saying before, it's something about an attitude that I just, you know, have you got a get up and go attitude, or have you got like a attitude, you know, all of that, it's all your brand. So it's quite important how you choose to turn up at wherever you go, really. Here we go, 9. So when you know your personal brand, you will have a solid foundation on which to stand. That's actually a poem, but it was not meant to sound like a poem. And you'll feel confident in communicating who you are and what your business offers to your clients. So I know for many of you, some of you will be you'll actually be employees. You won't necessarily be entrepreneurs or own your own, what do you call it? Do you call it a practice? Would you call it a practice? Or yeah. But I think it doesn't necessarily matter about whether it's your own business or not. It's still, you'll still have your own clients. And this confidence enables you to grow and expand your, maybe not your business, but you know, your client got a blank, client group, client list, client, yeah, you know what I mean. You'll know what I mean, yeah, things like So I want you to all sort of just take some time now. I'm just going to ask you some questions really for you to have a think about. So, you know, I don't know how comfortable you feel with closing your eyes. You don't have to close your eyes. You don't have to, but there's just something about just coming off the screen and just just allow your eyes just to drop and to go out of focus and just take some breath. And what I want to do is get you in touch with, you know, yourself and your core values and beliefs and why you're here doing what you do. So the first question is, why did you start working in law? So there'll be something about what you do right now. And the same with UK, you know, why did you start on your different path? You know, so we're all on our path doing what we're doing within our career. You know, what was it about law that started you on your journey? There'll be something that going on to the next question, what are you most passionate about within your career? You know, there'll be going into law is not just getting a job, is it? It's like a proper, full on, you know, a lot of years required. So there's something about law or about what the impact that you want to make in the world, why you're here. You know, so for me, you know, personal brand, it's not, yes, how you look, how you turn up, your attitude, all of that's really important. But what actually differentiates you and makes you unique? It's like your USP, but that's a bit kind of business speaky. But there's something about the uniqueness of us as women and men, you know, everyone is different. So, you know, you will have your own story, you'll have your own passion and your own ethos and values in your life, which is why you're doing what you do. And it'll be the reason why your clients will choose you and not other people, because there's something about the synergy that you've both got. So for me, branding is it goes very deep. And so I kind of want to share all of that with you because I think it's really important. And also, you know, what problem do you love to solve for your clients and customers? So I know there's all manner of different areas of law that you've all either specialised in or you're maybe heading towards. You know, what is it? You know, someone works in tax. It's amazing, like in tax. Wow, okay, that's interesting. Because obviously, I imagine tax is very complicated in all the legal stuff. It's like, it's Penni, is that you? Yeah.
Nez, can you mute your volume, please? Thank you.
Yeah. So I think what's really also important is that your personal brand has got so much to do with you, but it's equally got so much to do with the people that you want to change their lives. You want to make an impact. You know, there'll be some of your clients that you know, it's a quick job. You probably don't make I'm unmuted. Is that okay?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. So I don't know what you missed then, but just to kind of say, yeah. So there'll be some clients that you work with where it's a little job, a quick job. You don't make much impact, but then there are other clients that you have a big impact because of the problem that you help them with. And I think knowing it's like, who do you want to be a hero to? Like when you think about the people that are out there in the world within the context of the particular law area that you work in, who do you want to absolutely be a hero to? Like, just, you know, fly the flag for them. You know, I know there's quite a lot of people that go into law because they have a really strong passion about something in particular. So, you know, all of these things are great to think about in terms of your personal brand. Let's go on to the next one. Oh, okay. Hang on. Yes. This is my doggy. I just thought I'd put a cute picture of my dog. My dog's downstairs just in case she starts barking. So she's not present today, but she's downstairs. Anyway, but yeah, what is your why? So it's kind of in a way following on from what I was already saying, really, about, you know, what you're passionate about. You know, why do you love doing what you do? But then often we are all in jobs, careers, businesses, which enable us to make money. So it doesn't necessarily, I know for me and for many female entrepreneurs that I know very well, money isn't their driver. It's the difference that they make to the clients that is the most important thing. But when we have more money, it gives us choices. So that's the amazing thing about money, that it does give us choices to do things that we want. So, you know, do you have goals? You know, do you have goals in your life and in your business or in your career? You know, what are you going for? And, you know, like I said before, you know, what's this got to do with personal brand? Well, you know, it enables success and shows your uniqueness and your personality if you've got, you know, the things that you're going after. So, you know, the internal part of you is very much, like I said, it's your uniqueness. So there's the internal you that I've been talking a lot about your passion and about why you do what you do, and, you know, all the stuff that is in your mind, really, in your heart and in your soul. But, you know, what about the external you? Because the external you, of course, is part of your brand. You know, what is your style? And this isn't about, oh, we have to all be really stylish and we have to all be like, you know, go and get an image consultant and get all of that. And you know what? It really helps. It's kind of one of those that it doesn't necessarily have, it's not a have to, but it's something that's quite useful too. especially you guys, strutting into a courtroom. I imagine if you're wearing that particular outfit, that particular suit, that particular cloth, you're just like, yeah, I feel $1 million and I'm on it. So there is something not about necessarily creating a persona that's not you, but about enabling you to sit more self-assuredly. I don't even know if that's a word, but just to be more self-assured and to be, how can you look and feel that is going to give you the most confidence? And we all know that confidence is attractive. People want to work with confident people. So as a photographer, I of course I'm going to be biased, but it's so important that you have images of yourself, that you put images out of yourself. Do you have a professional headshot? Do you have portraits of yourself? And that's not necessarily about me trying to sell to you now. It's more about me trying to support you, because you'll be all over the country, I'm guessing, and obviously Kevin's in America too. But it's about it's also interesting in that, and this is another reason why I've niched into doing what I do, is because I know that so many females have got issues with their self-image. It's like most of us don't want to be photographed. We don't want to be the face of our businesses. And, most of us are quite shy, actually, when it comes to all of that. I imagine I get most of you in a courtroom and my God, you don't look shy. But that's the thing. It's like this thing about, when we're on it and we're doing what we do and we're being our full selves, you wouldn't think that we'd be shy, but actually most people are actually shy. It's really normal to be shy. And so that's another reason why I love doing what I do, because I support and empower women to feel okay about themselves, however they look. Women, we're all of us are aging. All of us are getting older. I've what's the word? I've inhabited my silverness. So I'm currently actually growing out my silver hair, and and that's kind of been slightly challenging for me and some other people around me. But that's just what I'm doing. But yeah, so I want to show. Thank you, Kate. But yeah, I want to be authentic. I want to be real, and I don't want to get sucked into the whole beauty industry thing anymore. So that's me. But I don't want this to be about me. I want it to be about you. But yeah, so just a little bit about images. And also, some of you will be members of staff. Some of you will have members of staff. Some of you might work within, quite large organisations and offices. And I just, again, from a sort of an empowerment support point of view, I just think there's so many positives to photographing your staff. It's important for your business brand to show who work for you. And I know a lot of people might not want to photograph their staff because they've got a high turnover. I don't necessarily imagine that's necessarily true within a law firm, but I don't know. Because, we're going to have to do it again, next year, and we have to do it again next year. Well, okay, it's okay. It's okay, isn't it? And also I think it's a very empowering thing to photograph your staff, because I think it shows that you value them and it shows that you celebrate them. So it's a very positive, empowering thing. And interestingly, I've gone into many offices and photographed all manner of groups of different people. And initially people are actually quite shy, of course, and especially shy in front of their colleagues. I just get them laughing about all manner of things, which, I just do, because I think, people are people, and, we're all in this together. And so this particular image is like a composite from one particular company, and it's a financial company in Manchester. And I really like this company because Peter, who's the guy in the bottom left, he's just really open-minded, and he's got so many young members of staff. Like, he really loves them, and they've got a really nice culture there. And so they all have a real laugh, you know, they all take the mick out of each other, and it's just all really quite jolly and nice. And so I think it's really lovely to celebrate that and to capture it. So, you know, often I've seen many law firms, financial kind of organizations, where it's just, they've got a very corporate website and they're just not celebrating their staff at all. They're all hidden behind all this like text and stock imagery, which kind of, you know, it just looks very bland. So I just think there's something, especially within the law, within your industry, you know, you've got a lot of people that are really funny, they've got lots of personality, but yet often it can look quite corporate and quite kind of bland. But why not bring out the personalities and actually celebrate you, your staff, or the brand of the company, as well as the personal brand of each person. So I don't know, I've harbored that point, but I guess I just kind of got on one a little bit. So, but I guess it's just stuff that I see. So I guess I do talk about the things that I see. And also, like in addition, in terms of imagery, I think it's just really nice to show you with your clients. Now, of course, a lot of your clients are going to need to remain anonymous. I totally get that. And your clients are not going to want to be in any photography. But hey, you can get, like, it doesn't matter. You can get people that you know to pretend to be your clients. It doesn't have to be authentically your clients with a name underneath. And so, you know, like this image here, just get some really nice images of you looking really friendly, really approachable. You're not like the normal law people. You know, it's like there's almost like within each industry, there's a reputation, isn't there? So it's kind of breaking through that reputation, really. You know, show that you love your clients and that you're really approachable. So how to inhabit your personal brand. You know, be authentic. You know, I think there's just something so beautiful just about being you, however you are. I mean, obviously, you know, there needs to be an element of context here, you know. You know, share your story. You know, your online presence is hugely important, and it does need managing. You know, I know of particular individuals that are very politically opinionated, or opinionated about all manner of things, and they put it out there all over social media, and that's okay. That's okay for them to do that, but it will polarize them. There'll be people that either really agree, or there'll be people that really don't agree. So, you know, it's thinking about all of the stuff that you put out is your personal brand. It's really important. And also, obviously, for the younger ones of you who are, you know, going towards your career, your social media presence is really, really important. And all of your future employers, any interviews you have, everyone's going to be watching what you're doing way before you the interview. So, you know, just be careful. That's all I'd say, really. Add value. You know, what value can you bring? You know, I know for me, like, random job, I was 20, it was money to get me to Australia because I wanted to travel around Australia, and I was working in this Toshiba factory, most boring job I've ever had. But they were like, who wants to be a first aider? I was like, I'll be a first aider. Yeah, I'll do it. You know, any opportunity that I've ever had, I've just kind of gone, yeah, I'll do it. You know, if that gets me doing something slightly different, or I'm learning something, you know, and I mean, was I adding value as a first aider? Well, I guess so. You know, more than just being someone on the line twiddling a piece of TV. Honestly, it's the most boring job I've ever done. But anyway, I didn't even know I was going to talk about that. But yeah, but you know, you get what I mean. It's like, you know, what can you do that would make you stand out, that would make you a bit more like, oh yeah, she's great. Oh, he's great. You know. Smile as well is really important. Don't be too pouty. Because quite a lot of pouty stuff that I know goes on social media, especially you young kids. And I totally get it too. And actually, there's a real benefit because you guys are much more used to it than us oldies. Well, I'll put myself in the oldie bracket. I don't want to include anyone else in that because it's a little bit rude. But you know what I mean? You know, the pouty thing within the career, I don't know. I'm not sure about that. But then I am too old. I don't know. But you know what I mean. So the importance of social media, which I've already sort of spoken about. 69% of attorneys, or obviously barristers, use social media for their career development and networking. It's like the world's watching, guys. Just be careful. And just in summary, when you know your personal brand, you'll have a solid foundation on which to stand. I know, as a business owner myself, I put a lot of content out there on social media, and I know a lot of my peers do the same. And, if you really know your personal brand and what you're about, what your values are, what your mission statement is, all of those kind of foundational things about yourself, you know what your message is, what you're saying. So it just makes it easier to talk, to put yourself out there. And then that will support you to be more confident, as I said, in communicating who you are and what you offer. And this confidence will enable you to grow and expand your business or practice, like I said before. And so that's me. So, I'd love to hear from any of you, men, ladies, so I've got personal brand packages where, obviously I've talked to you a lot about personal brand and what it is, but I do take people through workshops where I support them and guide them and handhold them really through discovering what theirs is. So I love doing that. And that's also like a really nice preamble to kind of creating a plan for your images and then creating your personal brand collection. So that's kind of what I'm all about. There's my details. I'm on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram. Personal brand photography expert is the Facebook and Instagram, and there's my website as well. So yeah, so that's me. Thank you for listening, everyone.
Fantastic. Can we give a clap to Tanya, please, before we get to questions? Amazing. That was so awesome. Thank you.